wife said, you need to get in or get out. And I tried to get out, and they held me to my agreement, which was I promised that I would at least listen to the audio CDs. So I listened to it, and it was life-changing information. I listened to the CDs, and it touched my heart. I realized that there were people in my life that needed to hear some of this information. But more importantly, I needed to hear it. And I slowly started to work on me. This is my favorite. I don't have time. I have self-employed. I have my own advertising and marketing business. I coach at Woodward, 3 varsity sports, and a substitute at Woodward. And I also do consulting on the side. So I had no time. Well, what they taught me was when I was doing things around the house, when I was traveling, to start listening to audio CDs. So I started multitasking. I started learning to get back some of my time when I'm out working in the yard. Instead of just cutting the grass listening to music, I put some life-changing information in my ear. Listen to that. And then that information helps me to learn to grow. I'm broke. This is another big thing. Well, if you're broke, that's all the more reason to do something. Because if we keep doing the same thing and we expect different results, some would say that's insanity. So we got to get new information in. We're trying to have new information and new ways of doing things. One of the guys that we got in our team recently teaches economics. I don't think he'll mind me sharing. He came up and he got involved and he held a spot on the team because hold your spot on the team's $100, $99.99. Plus shipping and taxing, it comes to like $112 total. He goes, well, that's okay, but how do I get involved and get going? So how do I afford this? So he went back and he goes, well, I'll just change my paycheck and take my taxes, lessen my taxes out, because I'm a 1099, I start my own business. I can write it off. I got mileage I can write off. But now instead of giving the government my money that I get back at the end of the year, I want that money now to invest in this business. And so that's a creative way. So there are ways to overcome all this. And the cool thing about this community is we leverage the power of duplication, because what we do and what we teach is teaching each person to duplicate themselves. And so together with the team approach, while you're doing other things, the team grows. In spite of it. Just like the people on the north side of town, I don't know if you heard, but they're actually doing another house clean up in Vinings. So we're trying to hurry to get through so we can get Chris before they get in line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Do you have any other questions? Or can you think of some questions?
I mean, you've covered everything really well.
Anything you want me to go back? Do you have any questions? Or
So it's a system for the system.
it's a system for the system. If you work the system, and I can vouch for this, my wife can really vouch for it. The nice thing about the system is that when you hold your spot on the team, we give you a first night pack, and that's pack 1. When you go through that first night pack, when you're done with that, we give you pack 2. When you're done with pack 2, we give you pack 3, all the way to pack 10. So it's the same from, excuse me?
What are you talking about?
Well, you were given a first night pack, right, when you first were introduced to it?
Chuck, was I giving that?
Yes, you were given that probably.
The red box? The red box?
It's this here. The first night pack, and it comes with 2 CDs and a book. And it has The Business of Life in it. So that's pack 1. And then pack 2, we have packs all the way through 10, and those are more CDs that systematically teach you step by step how to do the business. And so it's the same for every one of us. These are the packs over here, how to get started. It's pack 3. Additional information is pack 2.
Okay, I've got them. I just didn't know what they were.
Right. So this is the system. And my background in marketing is I developed franchise marketing systems. So when you buy a franchise, then you're given a marketing tool chest, if you would, of collateral and different items that you can take and then leverage into the community to generate income for you. Well, Life Leadership has done it. It's a 10-pack. It's packs 1 through 10. And the first one's the first night pack that you got. And then 2 is the additional information, more CDs. And then you go to this one, which is how to get started. And then 4 is the apprenticeship. So as you're kind of holding your spot on the team's growing, we start getting you through the CDs. And you just listen to 1 pack, then the next pack, and then the next pack. And then if you get someone involved in the business, we give them the first night pack, and then we give them packs 2 through 10. So and as long as you stick to what it says, I went on probation a couple of times and said, hey, I've got this figured out. I know my friends better than Chris and Lyndon. And even though I talked to Chris and Lyndon and they said, stick to the script, less is more, don't talk them in, don't talk them out, I knew my friends better. And everyone, when I opened my mouth too much and went too far down the road, I had trouble. When I kept it short and sweet and stuck to the facts, I was successful with it. So, any other questions? You ready to hold your spot?
I mean, almost.
Almost.
I'm just working on the financial end of it,
Yeah.
Right.
but it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, the awesome thing about the information is the people that are sharing with you how to succeed in this business, they have the fruit on the vine. They have figured it out, they have made all the mistakes, and they are there. It's their mission to help. The more people that we help in this country become financially free,
Right.
the better this country is. And so, you know, the leader, the founders and the high-level leaders in this business are so committed to providing the tools, the mentorship, and the information to all of us so that we have every step before us and people literally holding our hands as we move forward building the business.
Yeah, one of the problems that I know several life coaches, and we have some certified life coaches on our team. One of the problems, I know two guys that are life coaches, they're certified life coaches. One of them's been divorced multiple times. I'm not going to go to him for help in my marriage. But I am going to go talk to an Orrin Woodward or Chris Brady, or even better yet, Tim Marks, who's coming this Saturday, if you're off Saturday. He and his wife are coming. They were at the fringe of divorce. In fact, she was going to leave him. And he was a workaholic. He worked all the time. And he was struggling financially. They got into real estate, and they thought that would solve the problem. Of course, the real estate market fell apart. He had a stack of credit cards that were all maxed out, and he had no way, and he was juggling things. And he got into the life business because he wanted to borrow money from one of the guys that introduced him to the life business. And he shows up at a Tuesday night meeting, and he's broken. You know, I can't get here to there. I'm going to have to go through bankruptcy. And working with the life leaders, getting the right information into his head, he was able to avoid bankruptcy and pay off that debt, and in 31 months went wipe out his debt and got free.
He was over $1 million.
It was over $1 million
Oh, yeah.
in debt.
Over $1 million in debt. So, and they call him, he was called the Viking, and he had to learn to work on, because behind him was a lot of carnage and blood and, you know, broken relationships. Yeah. And he's a completely different man today. I mean, when you look at, and one of our mentors, Dan Hawkins, he started in the business. Their photographer was going to show him the plan. And Dan was at work. He was an auto mechanic because he didn't talk to cars. You know, he didn't like talking to people. Cars don't talk back. And so he could be comfortable there. And he calls his wife and says, well, what are we doing tonight? I says, we got our photographer's coming over to show us this plan of this business. Oh, I'm not going to do that. She goes, well, you call. Well, he was too afraid, too shy to call, so he didn't call, so he shows up. He then gets excited about it. And his wife, Lisa's like, nah, we're not getting it. You know, I'm self-employed. I've got daycare. I'm working that, you know, in our house all the time. You're working long hours. We're not getting ahead. We can't do something else. But he saw that this might be a vehicle for him. And for 7 months, he drove, 2 hours to a meeting on Tuesday. Due to the meeting, sat in the back of the room, didn't talk to anybody. 2 hours back, he did that for 7 months. People didn't even know who he was. And slowly listening to the information when he was at work, one ear plug in while he was working on cars, listening to positive information. And he started, in fact, he tells a story in there that one of his guys was complaining, we can't keep doing this. This is killing us. We can't keep doing it. And he blurted out, you got to do something different. There's a different way to do it. You got to create a system. And he started spitting out stuff that he was hearing in CDs. So it really wasn't even him talking. And slowly over an 18-year period, he's free where now he owes nobody any money, has a horse farm, gets paid, he just finished his first manuscript on his first book. And he and his wife are great mentors to all of us down here. There are ways to figure out things and solve problems and be creative in your finance. Anything else? Any questions for you, sir?
I think you've covered most of it. You did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hop up here and
A couple of years.
Just gonna move this camera around so that way when it's filled with a lot of people, then we'll know how far you've come.
That's right. That's right. And Rachel and Daniel are both
Yeah, I
in the
know.
business. So it's,